I have all the time when your time permits, but I'll be brief so that we also give other members an opportunity to also interact on this matter. Honorable Ariko, you asked me the questions, but I'll be brief in response so that I know you have afternoon sessions. You talked about when I was in budget chair and what I did for Safaricom share price. And I don't even know what to answer you. Because what does a budget chairman in Kenya has to do with the market prices of shares? There's nothing I do. I'm a market taker, just like any other Kenyan. And on that matter, respectively, Honorable Ariko, you are my brother. This issue came up when I was there, and I gave my voice. And my voice is as I have given the committee, because there's nothing to hide. The beauty about this conversation is that even the people who have appeared before you here, the technocrats from the National Treasury, they know the things I'm saying here are the correct ones. That was what they were also saying themselves. But because of the urgency of wanting to sell this share now and not tomorrow, that is my answer, what I think has changed. Then you asked about the valuation of, in terms of KCB being the transaction advisor. And I agree with you about there is the base price and there is the upper limit. In fact, you can change nothing. You know, in a business transaction, if Honorable Maduku is an architect and he wants to do his work for me for free, that is his business to do that. My business as a Kenyan is to look at where we are approaching the ceiling, not the floor. The ceiling is more important to me because that is where you put in the other costs in quote. And in this matter, Honorable Ariko, through the chair, I only have one direct thing that you need to do to safeguard the Kenyan interests. Even if KCB gets 3 billion, it is okay. Just do one thing. Ask them, do you have a stockbroker's agent? And they do it in writing. Why am I saying so? That is how deals are cut. And we are here to protect public resources so that instead of the deals being cut to go outside of the public purse, this money to be directed into building roads and other things. So if this committee gets that comfort in writing, then we will have a follow-up document that if KCB ever pays anyone in the name of being an agency, then this house will ask them, an agency for what? Do you need any agency to go to KCB to introduce a Safaricom stake, where the chairman is already a representation of government? That is my take on Abu Ariko.
Point of order, Chair. Safaricom is a business entity. So whatever it does in terms of transactional advisor, it is part of its business. So even if one of the main shareholder in KCB is doing another transaction somewhere, it will not give for free. It will charge transactional advisor fee as part of its business. Thank you, Chair.
Honorable Ariko, we need a whole day.
Point of order. Nyoro. Respond to the chair, not to Ariko. And I'm the chair now.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, because I'm answering Honorable Ariko, just to put it in perspective, through the chair, I'm answering Honorable Ariko's question. I think we need a day to first orient ourselves onto what we are doing in this hotel today in this session. Because Safaricom PLC has nothing to do with a buyer and the seller, Honorable Ariko. They have nothing to do with that. And I thought the CEO was here yesterday, and he said it in the language we cannot understand. Safaricom has nothing to do with the transaction between the government of Kenya and our buyers. And therefore, they have no business to appoint a TA, a transaction advisor. It is only the National Treasury who actually brought up the issue of KCB, not Safaricom. And therefore, I'm not talking about Safaricom. I'm talking about the National Treasury because they should be answerable to us as Kenyans. So my question is simple, and I give my proposal. There are some things you can achieve by just doing one thing. You can hit 2 birds with 1 stone. To remove any darkness and gray areas, let KCB do in writing whether there is a stockbrokers agency attached to to this transaction, you'll have cured everything else. Yes. You talked about transaction cost and you give for OECD countries. Kenya is not an OECD country, remember? Kenya is a growing economy. So it's the right parameter for the wrong jurisdiction. Some are repeating themselves, but you also talked about shares came down after government invested in Ethiopia. Precisely. The shares of Safaricom were trading at 45 shillings around 2021. And the valuation of Safaricom PLC then was 1.8 trillion shillings share. Now we are coming at a level where the same Safaricom has already invested in Ethiopia, colossal amounts of money, but we are valuing it at 2/3 of the then price. And then you are told, no, you have to keep quiet, you are basing it on the market price. That question is next, Honorable Karuma, I'll highlight it. Honorable Chair, Honorable Kaluma talked about, he was waiting for, he talked about a smoke gun or a gun smoke. And I am disappointed, to be honest, that a country losing 100 billion shillings is nothing important to any Kenyan. I am disappointed about that. The condition precedent alone, which I gave here, Kenya is losing 100 billion.
Chair, point of order, please. Honorable Nyoro, yesterday we had civil society. In fact, they are even more concerned than you are. In fact, they were saying that we should not even be here. Or if I recall what they said. So, as a point of information, many other Kenyans are as concerned, if not more, than you are. So I think, take it easy.
It's in good faith, the Honorable Maduku, through the chair. What I'm saying is, the question was directed to me.
The tone that you are using, Honorable Ndindi Nyoro, through the chair, is what is taking that, like, there's nobody caring. You know, this is a committee of parliament, and you are a member of parliament, you understand. We are listening, and then thereafter, this committee will retreat and make a judgment on the reports, including what you're going to do.
Through the chair, Honorable Ruto, you know, I give my presentation, and I pinpointed direct specific areas. Then if you come to me and tell me, stop talking now, it means you are choosing what to listen to. And I don't think that is fair, because I gave correct figures, what we are losing, the parameters we may do for valuation. How would you be waiting for me to give a smoke gun?
Mheshimiwa Ndindi,
Yes.
I think let's make progress. What he was expecting, you did say maybe you'll mention names and all that. That's what we more or less refer to. But the figures you gave, I think, is also in there. So that's perfectly in order. Thank you.
Let me not even, Chairman, I'll not go to that so that we don't,
Thank you so much.
we don't degenerate. But with humility, what I presented, I feel is very important.